Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news, baby dolls. Bitcoin has seen a bit of a recovery. This is the monthly candle. It's almost back to green. Remember, we were looking at a red before. Bitcoin came back down. It just poked around the 100,000 American dollars. And now we want to know, is it over or is there going to be more pain? The 4-hour super trend, funny enough, friends, it actually started to flip green. Look at this. This is the 4-hour super trend. That's lovely to see. So it did a very nice reversal off this low. I think Uncle Bobby thinks, hey, that might be it. I want to remind you of something as well. There's a gentle sir on Twitter, okay, in the Pulse Chain community. You guys think one of you tagged me. There's a CME Gap. And I think it is maybe around 96. It could be actually here from 96 to 99,000. Might be around 96,000. I think it's around that. It's either there or 92,000, whatever. Now, here's the thing. I guess that, look, if we don't hit that now, we could hit that later on in the bear. Because remember, we are in a giant pit stop zone. So, I mean, it is very possible that Bitcoin, you know Bitcoin, friends, you've heard of this coin, Bitcoin. I mean, if it ever went to like 180 and it wanted to go back all the way down to like 80 or something, that's a 60% drop. That's also possible. I mean, we're kind of hoping, though, it hits like 250. Right, let's say it hits 260 and then it comes back down. Maybe it comes back down, swoops everybody at 80K. That's a 70% drop. 78,000, 70% drop. Yeah, because you never know. It could be there for like a day or two. There's like total mania. Things look like they're bad. But so it is always possible. Remember, we are in the potential, the pit stop zone. So you probably learned something today as well. If you're, see, Jams win, friends, like, you know, blew $100 million, a very expensive lesson. You could have learned that lesson on literally $10 or $1,000. Okay, like that's why a lot of people, they have a lot of tough times doing this in trading. They just want to make money straight away, which I get it, man. Everyone wants to make money fast. The thing, though, is look what you're risking. So if you ever find yourself in that situation, even if you had 100 grand, friends, what you should do is load the account with like 1 or 2,000. Yeah. And then your goal is like have like 2 or 3 profitable months and try to keep your drawdown low. Can you make like 5% per month on that? 10% per month without blowing it. If you can, at least you're on the path. You see, it's all, no one does this, man. Absolutely no one does this. Like, have you ever heard anybody say this? No. Whenever you hear anybody talking about the leverage trading exchange, it's like, oh, come in, don't risk too much. Anyway, here's all these trading strategies, all these other things. So, you know, you shouldn't even put in your mind there, right? Because yeah, you put 100 people in a room, 1 or 2 or 3 are going to do okay, you know, but I'm not about that. I want to help as many people as I can because I'm doing it, okay, myself. Yes, long-term holding. Yeah, it feels like it's a long-term grifting because we're being destroyed by this freaking crypto cycle, but we didn't know that. You know, I know that the rates are way, way, way higher. I mean, like, think about this. All the market has to do is just get a PMI reading of like 55 to 57 and everyone's on side. So, yeah, so, okay, the difference between a 5X and a 50X in everyone's portfolio, yeah, they do make a difference, but it doesn't matter. Like, you're actually in profit. Think about this. You don't get like an 80 or 90% win rate or success rate from people in literally anything else, right? But long-term holding is where it is. Now, let's check on the Bitcoin weekly chart. I just showed you the very close-up on that 4-hour. We flipped green. So this is the nice, we have 2 red weeks here. Maybe that's enough. It could be enough, right? 2 weeks. I mean, it is a bull market, yeah? Because like, see, we're so conditioned to things keep continuously going down. And we're like, oh, no, it's going to get worse. Things are going to get so much more worse. But no, it's a bull market, right? In a bull market, we're constantly climbing the wall of worry, right? As we've just seen, Elon Musk reveals all that information about Trump on Epstein files, which is funny. This is the Bitcoin dominance slowly charging its way up, man. This is just wild. This thing is like full on relentless. But I just want to see what it's doing here. Yeah, it's still hanging around that Fibonacci level. So we'll see what happens on this recovery. Can Ethereum basically reverse things up? I mean, Ethereum's chart is ready to go. You look at this, look at this very nice weekly chart. It's pretty much just Morse coding here. This is how you know it's just ready for the teleport up, right? And remember, there's a lot of stops up here. So is that enough? Well, we'll see. We still need, you know, the whole economy and everything to start turning around before we really do anything. This is what the monthly chart of Others looks like. It's just Others itself. Like, oh man, look, what a terrible, terrible freaking start to the year. We dropped 50%. Everything else, friends, literally every other cycle before this was like all the way up here. So your whole portfolio, man, if you're going up previous cycles, by now, based off time, you would be anywhere from 8 to 24x richer. Your whole portfolio right now. That's the average. So let's just put it in the middle. Put 13x. You'd be 13x richer than today. that would be the average, right? But it is what it is. I do like. I want to do a piece of Puppy G music. I like how everyone has given up on the cycle. Every single person. I even saw Axis. Shout out to Axis from Pulse Chain Community. Somebody even used the word cycle in a comment, and he was replying back. He goes, no, the whole cycle thing's wrecked, right? So just give you an example. And like everyone out there, no one wants to touch the word cycle. No one believes in it at all, which is great. I love that. That's good. I mean, the crowd is like really saying, oh, that cycle doesn't mean anything. I've been saying December 2025 since forever. But yeah, man, like December 2025, how far can these altcoins possibly go in this short amount of time? I don't know. Maybe we'll get surprised. We'll see. Now, baby dolls, do you remember the US yield curve? I've got it up here for you, right? Remember, the US yield curve was always giving us a bit of terror because once it starts uninverting, the recession starts. I mean, look at this thing right now. It's like hovering around here. It's almost like it's ready to go. And we might get one more fake out, maybe. And then our bull market happens, and then it actually happens all together in the bear market. Maybe, you know. So yeah, it's very unknown when it comes to these, but it's very clear, right? We have not even had a proper start. The cycle, the PMI has been below 52 this whole time for 31 months. This is the OTHERS-BTC chart. It is still red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red candles. When you see something like this, you might see like literally 2 candles just smash it up like this, and we just go, oh wow, these 2 monthly candles just erased 2 years of pain. We might actually see something like that. You just don't know when, right? It feels like it's a powder keg ready to explode. Checking out Bitcoin and the global M2 liquidity correlation from my friend Carlin Talks Crypto. So this is the chart here. Probably people are going to change around the offsets or anything out here. How far is it? Whatever. It's just all that matters is we're moving up and to the right. The money printers are on. That's what makes Bitcoin special, by the way. The fact that when global M2 goes up, so when this money printer, when it turns on, okay, Bitcoin statistically grabs a lot of the currency units. That's why it has a high growth rate, you know. Is it going to be like that forever? No, but like you don't want to bet against something like that pretty much. Something such a fundamental driving macro force anytime soon if you're in the stock market boomer world. Now, having a quick check at the soy ETH ratio, it has gone back to uninverting on the weekly super trend, but like I don't think this thing's going to hold up. I mean, like Ethereum's ready to go, real world assets, all this tokenization stuff. You have PumpFun as well, signaling it's towards the end as well, even though they won't technically say that. But PumpFun's revenue's down 90%, and now they're like, oh, let's go launch a token now. Let's go do the token. So some people there are going to get really big airdrops. Like one guy has done like $100 million of trading of volume back and forth. Probably a lot of front running and dumping on people and stuff as well. But yeah, maybe he gets like a $300,000 or $500,000 airdrop or $1 million airdrop. Who knows? PumpFun, though, they don't have a good reputation of handing out money. They hand out money to insiders, but it is what it is, right? So we'll see what happens there. Oh yeah, a lot of people as well, they're going to consider it an airdrop, but no, it's a rebate for all your losses. So a lot of people just obviously have lost a shitload on there and just getting churned and destroyed. But you know, like if you, it's funny how it works, right? Like there's people who would have lost, you know, maybe they're down net $20,000 in the past year and a bit on it, but they might receive like a $3,000 airdrop when they get it. And so they think, whoa, they're killing it, but like they're net down, you know what I mean? They're net down that much. It's just that like you get all of it in one go. So that's going to it could give a sugar rush to them. We'll see. The ETH-BTC ratio has still been pooping around. We had just one green month in a row. Now we're hovering around here. So if we repeated the ones in the past, it really does screw around and do nothing for a while before it comes and pops up. So we'll see. We'll see what happens when it comes to this. And you never know, friends. It could always like do this screw around, and then in the final month, like Ethereum just has some sort of big explosion, and then it just signals the end. But these things are obviously very hard to time. Everyone knows that. As long as we're on the right side of history. Here is the US dollar, the DXY macro still going lower. So everything seems to be on track. It's just the only thing missing, like we have everything's done. Literally everything's done. The only thing missing is this business cycle, which, and if you want to look at all the variables out there in the economy, it could be major loser, major scum, always late Jerome Powell. That is the only thing in the economy where you're like, oh, that's restrictive. Everything else is good to go. Congressional bills, spending, right? There's a lot of things out in the economy out here. So You know, you have AI, all these undertones, pro-crypto president, all this stuff. The only thing that's missing are those interest rates. That's literally it. But doesn't necessarily mean if he cuts them, it'll boost up. We don't know. You know, we'll see. Now, friends, going to crack on with some news. Crypto firm Gemini has confidentially filed for a US IPO. The crypto IPO bubble is loading. Do you remember, friends, yesterday, for the past 2 days, I've been talking to you about crypto IPO bubble, and I'll continue to talk to you about it, right? More listings are coming. You're expecting Gemini, Kraken, Ripple, any crypto company that is like remotely, I guess, Americanized, they'll try to get to the stock market. Why? So they can dump all their shares on the normies. So that's pretty much it. So that's pretty much their exit plan. That's why they built the company in the first place, right? Because they obviously, not a lot of them like own really crypto. It's kind of funny. They're just like, they're selling shovels in the gold rush, right? Obviously they do have it, but not anywhere as much as you think. So this is a way for them to cash out. So we're going to probably see this crypto IPO bubble form, and it would be great to wait for the normies to come in. Now they can trade crypto and stocks, get some more people in, and just hopefully just accentuates our bubble and our mania out here. So the crypto IPO bubble, remember, we've had Circle. Now, because Circle's successful, their stock traded like $82 when their final raise was $31. So on like at the end of the first day, it's up 2.6x for like the last stage IPOs, and they raised $1 billion, right? So it's very interesting, yeah, how this thing is just starting to basically move along. And we're still looking around, bro. We're seeing all these signs, and we're like, bro, the business cycle's still low. It still has not ticked up. What's it gonna take? Guess we'll find out, right? Trump Media has officially filed for an S3 registration statement with SEC for its $2.3 billion Bitcoin Treasury deal. So I even noticed in Wanker Guru, a lot of the comment sections giving a clown face to Donald Trump now, because they're just seeing everything as like one big grift. Like, well, we knew it was a big grift from the start. It's not about the grift. It's the network effect. You don't judge the person who's doing it, okay? Just judge them by the volume of their megaphone. They're very, very, very loud. Good, man. That's it. It's just all of society coming on, right? You can't get any, like, have you seen what humans are like? You know what I mean? You're not going to get this perfect world where you only recruit people that they like. And by the way, people argue about like who's more pure and who's right for the industry themselves anyway. For example, look at the proof of work and proof of stake battles. Oh, one's saving the one's trying to keep decentralization. The other one says no, but you're paying electrical companies. So, you know what I mean? It doesn't really come down to that. All that matters is the power of the megaphone. And yeah, Donald Trump has a very, very big megaphone. So they're going to do a Bitcoin Treasury deal. So it's just like MicroStrategy, right? The Bitcoin Treasury, it's literally they just borrow money, they give you yield, and they just go buy Bitcoin on it, and they just pray that the Bitcoin goes up. So let's hope that this does continue forward, this positive flywheel, and they keep basically grabbing as much money as they can out there to come push up these prices. They're effectively, friends, what they're doing. All right, I know it doesn't look like it now, but through these liquidity routes, what they're doing is they're capturing bond investor money and is putting a bid on Bitcoin, which will eventually pay us in altcoins. It'll eventually, through the business cycle part, okay? So effectively what we found the way to do is transfer wealth from bondholders who are the like least risk appetite people in the world, a bond cuck. We found the way to transfer their wealth and pump our bags, okay, through Michael Saylor, the vehicle. Now, it doesn't look like it yet because it's Bitcoin only, but I will promise you this now, right? This is, this thing, okay, it's reflexive, all right? Literally every single person in the world is waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. Friends, nobody wants to sell their BTC here to buy altcoins, okay? But trust me, they can't wait to do it down here. They can't wait to get the party started, okay? They're looking for it so much. They're happy to get the last half of the move. They don't give a crap, okay? So that's what we're ultimately playing for. It's just it's a matter of testing our faith and patience. In some other sexy news of the day, Donald Trump has called on the US Fed to cut rates by 100 basis points, calling it rocket fuel for the US economy. So always late, major loser, Jerome Powell, he is still very restrictive, friends, because just to show you, all you can do is compare the interest rate to the kippy. Okay, if you go to look at trueflation, so that's why he's very biased against Trump. I remember I briefly covered it here for you, but I wanted to make a whole episode on this. Do you know in 2019, basically one of the US Fed, I think Dudley, he was so that they hate Trump so much, he wrote an essay calling on all other central banks in the world not to cut rates to help Donald Trump. And it was in 2019 during his first term. Okay, that's really, really weird. You got to admit that, man. That is like they overstepped their boundaries. And bro, you have access to the money printer. So these people are as evil, over-controlling, non-human intelligence-controlled reptilian lizard as they get, right? That's really crazy, because you see Trump do some crazy, weird stuff, and then you're like, wait, but they publicly hate you. Like, they really, really, really hate you. We've never seen this before. So I feel like Trump is, half insider, of course, with stuff, but then there's just some stuff is like, no, I don't see the big deal. His brain just doesn't process the complexity of this other insider stuff. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't, because he's a vibes guy. You know what I mean? And that might be what tilts him. Now, look at this trueflation, friends. Trueflation for the US of A is 1.8%. That's wild, man. It's at 1.8%, the kippy. And the US Fed rate, what are you, still 4.5%? Like, it's still extremely restrictive, bro. Like if you want to leave the rate at 1% over the kippy, then interest rate should be like 200 basis points lower. But that's from the trueflation, and the real kippy, which is the fake modified one, that's also lagging as well. So they literally should be 100 basis points lower. So what's he waiting for? I don't know. Is he waiting for an economy to crack? Probably, friends. Look, if they're not all fully corrupt, then the system is not some sort of orchestration, which it just could be anyway. Major loser Jerome Powell. Okay. He's very biased right now, because he's probably seeing the economy. He's like, oh, it's going to crash any 2 seconds now. So he goes, I don't want to cut rates preemptively, because Donald Trump's going to mess things up, and then we're going to have to cut rates, right? But at this point, we've got the perfect scapegoat, don't we? Yeah, we've got the perfect scapegoat. When the economy does go down, Donald Trump is literally, we all know what he's going to be saying. He's going to be writing essays about major loser Jerome Powell has literally caused this recession, and he's going to cop it so hard. Oh my gosh. You and I, we're going to jump in on it as well. Hey, man, his legacy. Friends, I don't think his legacy is going to be what he thinks, right? He better hope this economy doesn't crack, bro. He's going to have to be there straight up, because you went through all of what you went through in 2022, hiking the rates, screwing everybody over, and now, man, he's just like, literally just one tweet essay away from basically having his whole reputation erased. In some other news as well, Metaplanet, remember the Japanese MicroStrategy, they've issued $5.4 billion in moving strike warrants to buy more Bitcoin, Japan's largest ever equity issuance with above market pricing. Wow. That's probably making headlines all over there in Pokemon Island. Pokemon Island's going wild. Right, shout out to everybody in Pokemon Island. I got my Game Boy here too, right? Because this type of stuff makes big news meters. All the CEOs, all these companies are like, whoa, look how much money there is. And what do they do? Oh, it's Bitcoin. Oh, it's crypto, right? So that's what we want to see. We love seeing stuff like this. Want the bubble keep going up and up. Should you buy Metaplanet? Not financial advice, but do you want to pay $5 for a $1 Bitcoin? Do you want to buy a Bitcoin at 500K? Okay, go buy Metaplanet. So it's the hugest short squeeze. Let me just show you the chart again. It's like, it's actually, this thing is straight rocket fuel. And what a sight to be seen this is. Wow, check it out. Bang, 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 bang. That's huge, friends. Man, that's big. But if you check out its whole price chart, I mean, it's still, wow, it's still down 80%. Oh my gosh, that distance is 80%. Man, that sucks. Gosh, we've got a while to go on this one. Yeah, but this is extremely expensive now. Oh my gosh. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. People are short. People are trading it. There's volume. Oh man, it's crazy. And hopefully there's more coming, right? So Twitter, friends, X, man, we should not have called it off. Twitter was just the basic. You're tweeting, tweet, and just to call it X. X is partnering with PolyMarket as its official prediction market platform, which is huge. PolyMarket doesn't have a token. Remember, it's Polygon. They do the prediction market stuff. Elon probably likes it because he was seeing it every day during the election and it was giving real results. So he's partnered with them. Very interesting. I wonder what they're going to do. They're probably looking for ways to financialize the Twitter platform. I'll call it Twitter again. It is Twitter to me, man. It'll always be Twitter. So Twitter probably going to have all these finance stuff on it. And it will definitely boost it up. Obviously, Elon's he's turned it from like a socialist communist garbage platform. Now he's trying to like improve it and put all this stuff. So they're putting things now. You can do like they're gonna put like the gaming Twitch equivalent. It's probably gonna jam all these features into it. So it's probably gonna have like live streaming and then every expansion you can think of. He wants to probably make it an all-in-one payment solution out here. I've even got more big news as well to confirm on top of this. Look at this. Apple, Airbnb, and Dr. Google McDougal are reportedly in talks to integrate stablecoins. So we have X as well. See, once again, friends, I just completely missed it. Apple, X, and all these, they're integrating stablecoins, signaling big tech's growing move into crypto payments, right? So stablecoin SuperCycle, once again, is getting confirmed. Everybody on Pulse Chain, prices are poop like everything else. Hopefully, we have an unstable coin that becomes stable. That'll be a fun journey out here. I guess we'll see what happens. So stablecoin SuperCycle, friends, as you get to see, just a brief reminder as well. Why are stablecoins important? Because they are the shortest end of the risk curve. It's basically you're taking no risk. You're holding a US dollar in your bank account. And it's the opposite of, I guess, meme coin SuperCycle. Meme coin SuperCycle is go the furthest down the risk curve. And then the stablecoin SuperCycle is go the shortest distance. Literally, you're literally at 0 point. You mean because you're just a dollar. You just, but it's not really no risk. You're losing basically 8% of purchasing power per year. All right, it's actually worse than that because this is why it's worse. Not only are you losing the 8% money debasement, okay, you're also losing your opportunity cost of the things you want to buy in the future. That's why holding cash is like really garbage over the long term. Really, really, really garbage. Okay, they're debasing you at 8%. Think about that, right? They're debasing 8%, and then yeah. And just an example, let's say Bitcoin goes up 50%. Yeah. So what's your cash worth now, right? But also, like you gotta leave some for emergency funds. So you can't always be investing 100% in your portfolio. But a good lesson to go by is say Warren Buffett. He only leaves about 5 to 15% cash. 15% cash probably is nice for most people out here because he's got billions of dollars. Stablecoin SuperCycle is confirming. So once we get all those people, friends, once we get all those people into the cryptocurrency industry, they can start to make more products for them because now everyone's used to stablecoins, right? Maybe they're more inclined to like go visit news sites or Twitter because they understand stablecoins. They're earning a little yield and stuff on it, and that could be what kickstarts our bull market in terms of the exciting phase. The S&P 500, right? This is wild, man. It closed above 6,000 for the first time in history. This is actually, sorry, not in history. It was above 6,000 here at the end of last year. Wow, I thought it was in history. But either way, it's charging up. If you notice, man, there was these like bad news that was here, right? Oh, Elon and Trump and something bad to tariffs. The market doesn't care. It's just shrugging it off. Okay, so hopefully we're destined for higher. It feels like, man, it feels like it's an AI run, right? I've recently been having some computer problems as well. My computer keeps just screwing up, and I've been talking to ChatGPT, and man, it's wild, man. Just the diagnosis stuff it can do. It's crazy. Just tell me. I accessing parts of Windows I never knew. Like, oh, he go grab this mini dump and then show it to me. I'll go use this tool, Windows DBG tool, and then copy paste this and type this line in, and then okay, show it to me, and then it analyzes literally everything. It's amazing. He goes, oh yeah, you have a problem with your Realtek driver, right? And so it turned out this is crazy because I had no idea, right? I was literally about to I was on the verge of buying a whole new PC because I don't know what the hell was wrong, and then ChatGPT just saves me everything. Because it tells me that whenever my computer was going onto sleep mode every 4 hours, that disconnect was basically giving me a blue screen of death because my network driver is Realtek, not Intel. It's Realtek. And then it shows me, oh yeah, these things have common problems for the past few years. And so I had to order an Intel-based one. It gave me literally, hey, here's your Intel-based. Here are some Intel-based USB Wi-Fi dongles that you can pretty much use if you want to use them. And then I also was typing to it. I'm like, hey, what can I do in the meantime, like to do this? And it's like, hey, what you should do is it goes disable sleep mode. Here, go to these settings and disable and make the power management so it can't turn it off. I couldn't believe it, man. All these things are wild. So like, if I wasn't computer savvy, like what's that? That's $200-300 talking to somebody as they try to like diagnose it and try to figure it out. You have to give the computer over. Man, this thing's going to keep accelerating. And that's probably like the undertone of what's pumping up the S&P 500 and stuff over time. So, see, the thing is, it's good now, but it's not any bubble. Like, do you feel there's an AI bubble? No, right? The only bubble is like Nvidia, but it's not even a bubble. It's the hardware for AI. So they have like an enormous amount of orders in the next literally freaking 5 to 10 years. Like literally 5 years guaranteed. Like they have orders till 2030 and it's like literally they're full for like the next 5 years, right? So the hardware, can hardware get into a real bubble? Probably not. What's going to be the bubble though? We'll see. It'll be something silly willy, you know. Like I'll just give you an example. You know, let's say Kim Kardashian launches an AI platform. You know what I mean? Like someone who's really famous. They launch an AI platform and like, Hollywood stars launching their own AI thing, right? Whatever the AI thing is. So we haven't even gotten to that stage where someone's been able to like, you know, morph these things and pretty much just advance them to start getting retailer attention in that, maybe. Another Elon Musk comment. Elon Musk accused Congress of bankrupting America. So we're continuously seeing this undertone. It seems like an orchestrated BS. It's just very strange because Elon's really smart. He's got like what, 160 IQ, 180, whatever it is. Okay, how don't you know, bro? It's a fiat Ponzi system, dude. Right? Don't you watch the highest value content in crypto, Elon? You're paying Chinese kids to go grind you freaking Path of Exile and Diablo or whatever, to grind up their high levels. You should be watching the highest value content in crypto. Okay, you've already got 14 kids, bro. You know, but actually, before you watch me, go raise your 14 kids. He's not raising his 14 kids. You know, he's working on the 15th one, which is, you know, each to their own. I guess that's why he's a billionaire. I'm not, I'm not, right? So, Elon, no friend, like, they can't stop this Ponzi system. They can't. Like, because Elon, right? He's Elon, right? He's saying, oh, cut the waste, cut the waste. Do you not understand what happens when you cut the waste? Okay, you have a big government department, yeah? Right? If you cut 10% of their force, do you want to know what actually happens? Yeah. Those people have mortgages and they have bills to pay. And they go to shops and they buy items every day, yeah? When you cut them, you know, their mortgages, guess what? They can't pay them anymore. So, and they can't pay them anymore. And the businesses that they go help, like, you know, shopping center and just random local stores and stuff out here, they can't give them money anymore because they've cut their job. Right. So then what happens is they pull back on everything. And now the money units needed to cover your loan payments are not there. Okay. So the money supply is getting smaller now because it's not circulating. And then what ends up happening is that spirals, right? Eventually it seeps into the rest of the economy out there in different places. And then guess what? Oh, the US Fed has to cut the rates and print the money all over again. It's literally just a freaking full cycle. And we've already seen all the DOGE stuff. A lot of it was baloney. Remember, I've told you, they did not audit the Department of Defense or the Department of Energy. That's where all the deep state UFO black budget stuff is. They did not audit that. Bro, you guys are getting $800 billion. DOGE hasn't audited you. Why are you going after? They're going after, oh, these people said they're still 130 years old receiving Social Security. It's literally nothing. The debt is 35 trillion. It's literally 35 trillion. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. We just saved $8 billion here. So it's all one big orchestrated fugazi. How come we know it? It has to be orchestration, man. Something's weird's going on. How do we know it? We know it, man. Is it because we're in crypto and we love it and it's always at the back of our mind? Maybe. But yeah, there's a lot of things that just makes you scratch your head. And yet they can't do it. They have to keep printing money. They have to. Like, okay, the alternative, if they don't keep printing, what ends up happening? That spiral becomes a Great Depression eventually. That's it. If you don't want to print money, if you want to actually cut down the debt, yeah, you can. Remember, the alternative is if they really want to cut down the debt, you tax every American citizen at 90% for about 10 to 11 years. And then you get it to another sustainable period. So basically, do you want to become a slave for 10 years just to get this imaginary fugazi number down? No one's going to sign up for that because they're like, wait, I'm a slave because you baby boomers basically overspent. So no one's going to do that. So we just have this perpetual system where BlackRock, Rockenegra, everyone else, right, they're accumulating all the scarce assets with the printed currency units. Now, we've also been having fun during the day, friends. Uncle Peter Schiff has turned himself into a meme for the day, transforming into Uncle Peter file. So I've got another video coming out here for you later on. We'll go through, have some fun with that. So it's just been crazy just what's actually been appearing in the news. Now you probably want to know, where are we going to from here? Well, this is the 4-hour chart, okay? And it is now green on the weekly super trend. Green on the 4-hour super trend. If you go back in the past though, there are a couple of these fake outs, okay? So this is literally the 4-hour. It has a lot of these moves up and down. I mean, like check this out, for example. In December last year, it flips green. So this is what you're looking at, yeah? You're like, oh, wow, the 4-hour flipped green again, yeah? And then literally it comes back down, all right? And then literally has to grind up before it goes up again. So that's why the 4-hour is just for like scalping, trading, little swing trading stuff out here. The real one you want to see is the daily. Let's look at the daily. Here we have the daily. This is actually wild, man. We actually reversed it on the daily super trend. And now we've had this nice green up here. Man, this is wild, man. We've still been going green on the daily. That's crazy. That's actually lovely. You never know. It might have a bit of a jitter down, or we're just going to continue up. Remember, the most important of all, right? So that's just like, you know, that's for us contextually in the month. The biggest one is obviously the weekly super trend. The weekly super trend, yes, whenever that flips red, it's 80% chances, but there's a bear market in history. What price is that right now? That is $80,000 for BTC. So would we begin a bear market at $80,000 and go down? I never want to say never, but I hope not. Hopefully, as Bitcoin goes up, this thing goes up, right? This thing goes up with it. It's trading at 200, 250K. Everyone says we're never going to go down. We flip red. Everyone's complacent. And then we pretty much might come all the way back down later on. And we just come back. We close this CME gap, which has been here. So you never know, right? That might be what we're looking at, friends. Here you have a 65% drop. Or if Bitcoin hits, 260K, comes back down, 60, 70% drop. And then we begin the cycle all over again. It just depends, right? Remember, I'm looking for, I want to see that crowd fever where they refuse to believe in below 100K. That would be our dream. I hope it's there, man. I really hope it's there. I want to see like a 250K and then they all cheer. They go, we're never going below 100. We can't. 100 is stupid. Right, the printing and the money. I hope we see that, because that will just increase the odds that we're on the right path to do that. Because right now it's kind of scary. It's like, what number do you think Bitcoin's never going below? Because my number's like it's like 30K, 20K. That's scary, right? So we want, but that's kind of scary, but it's healthy. That means there's a lot of skeptics in the market still. There's a lot of bears. If Bitcoin charges up higher, maybe we can get their never going below price to 100K or something, right? That's what we want to see, friends. Until then, we are going to make it. Like, subscribe, bell button, or catch you soon.